Welcome to the Facilitation Training. This session aims to introduce you to facilitation, which will prepare you to facilitate meetings and discussions effectively.
The Lincoln Welcome Ambassadors would be recruited to facilitate a 10-minute discussion as part of the staff discussing their ambitions for a Lincoln student. This could include the role of the student, how they engage, academic development, professional development. 4 students will be required at each welcome talk. Dates of each welcome talk will be sent out prior once you have completed this training. Facilitation is about helping a group to have an efficient and inclusive meeting. It combines a series of roles and tasks. These are often embodied in one person, the facilitator. But we encourage groups to think in terms of shared facilitation, with everyone sharing the responsibility for ensuring a meeting is well run, productive, and everyone has participated. We hope for you to have an active role in the School Action Day by overseeing the discussions and making sure everyone's voice can be heard. Facilitation tasks include helping the group to decide on a structure and process for the meeting and keeping to it. These topics will come from the subject committee meeting and data sources such as module evaluations from the School Action Days. Keeping the meeting focused on one item at a time until decisions are reached. Regulating the flow of discussion, drawing out quiet people or those with the most relevant expertise and limiting those who tend to do a lot of talking. Clarifying and summarising points, testing for consensus and formalising decisions. Helping the group deal with conflicts. Keeping the meeting to time and ensuring that a written record is made of any action points and decisions agreed at the meeting.
Facilitating or chairing. Superficially, a facilitator fills a role similar to that of a traditional chairperson. There are, however, important differences. For instance, facilitators never direct the group without their consent. At no time does the facilitator make decisions for the group or take on functions which are the responsibility of the group as a whole. A good facilitator stays neutral and helps the member of the meeting be aware that it is their business that's being conducted. The success of the meeting is the mutual responsibility of the whole group. The facilitator needs to be aware of this and always gets the group's agreement before using processes or tools. Be aware that people's behaviour in groups is influenced by individual needs and past positive and negative experiences in groups. Try to spot your own negative behaviour patterns and work on identifying your own and other people's needs.
Key skills and qualities for a successful facilitator include good listening skills, including strategic questioning to be able to understand everyone's viewpoint properly, understanding of the aim of the meeting as well as long-term goals of the group, confidence that good solutions will be found and consensus will be achieved, neutrality on the issues discussed. Trust in the facilitator is dependent on them avoiding manipulating the meeting towards a particular outcome. If this becomes difficult, or you know in advance that you'll struggle to remain impartial, try stepping out of the role and letting someone else facilitate, or making it clear when you're expressing your own opinion and when you're intervening as a facilitator. Respect for all participants and interest in which each individual has to offer. Clear thinking, observation of the whole group. Attend both to the content of the discussion and the process. How are people feeling? Assertiveness, without being overbearing. Know when to intervene decisively and give some direction to the meeting.
Before your meeting, the following processes need to be considered. Prepare an effective agenda. Ensure everyone is informed about the time, place and content of the meeting. Set out pre-meeting materials if necessary. Don't just rely on email unless you know everyone has internet access and uses it regularly. Consider physical arrangements such as temperature, air quality, ability to see and hear. Think about any special needs people may have and how to cater for them. Arrange the seating in an inclusive way. Some groups find circles are best because they allow everyone to see each other, while other groups prefer rows so that people can seat themselves according to how committed they feel to the group. Gather materials needed for the meeting, for example, watch, pens, marker pens, flip charts, written presentations and proposals. Find a co-facilitator who can take over in an emergency if the main facilitator tires or wants to participate more actively in the discussion.
First point of call for your meeting should be introducing yourself to the group. There are some key processes which can be introduced to encourage participation during your meeting. Have an introductory activity. What you do really depends on the group. It might be a formal icebreaker or a few minutes chat. Whatever you do, make sure you don't alienate anyone, especially newcomers to the meeting. If people don't know each other or there are newcomers to the group, get everyone to introduce themselves. It's really important for welcoming new people. Encourage people to share more than just their names. You could ask everyone to state in a couple of sentences why they are here or to share an interesting skill they have. If there are too many people, this could be done in smaller groups. Set the boundaries for the meeting. Explain the time frame, subject, aim of the meeting, the process for making decisions, responsibilities of the facilitator, and what you aim to do. Agree with the group what behaviour is acceptable and not acceptable in the meeting. For example, one person speaking at a time. Explain the proposed agenda, then ask for comments and make necessary changes. Be careful not to spend half the meeting discussing which item should go where. If necessary, be firm. Allocate time for each item and set a realistic finishing time. Keep to this. If using consensus decision making, make allowance for extra time to go deeper into the issue if necessary.
Be positive. Use affirmation and appreciation and comment on special contributions of members and accomplishments of the group. Be even-handed and don't just affirm a few individuals. Help everyone to participate. Draw out those people who may not have engaged during the meeting. It is key to gain input from every member in your meeting. Limit over-talking. Don't let anyone dominate the discussion. Use tools such as breaking into small groups to equalise participation and to create a safe atmosphere for expressing opinions and feelings. Make sure a time and place for the next meeting has been agreed and that people leave their contact details if they want to be updated or receive minutes for the meeting. Do this before people start leaving. Sum up, remind people of what they're committed to doing before the next meeting and provide some satisfying closure to the meeting. Check that somebody has taken responsibility for writing up and circulating the minutes or notes in the next few days.
Facilitating problems. Time constraints on finding a solution to an urgent problem leads to stress. We need to allow enough time in the meeting for issues to be dealt with adequately. Prioritise which decisions need to be taken there and then and which ones can wait a while. Some decisions could be delegated to smaller groups. Avoid having meetings which several issues are being discussed at once. State clearly what the issue is and what needs to be decided about it. Explain when the other issues will be discussed and stop people from going off on tangent. Encourage everyone to present their viewpoints, especially when they may be conflicting. This requires broad discussion and enough time. Listen carefully for agreements and concerns and the underlying issues. What's at the root of people's worries? This helps with drawing up a proposal that takes them into account. Don't mistake silence for consent. Insist on a response from every participant. The group should be conscious of making a decision all together. If an agreement is reached too easily, then test to make sure that members are fully supportive of the decision and do agree on essential points.
This completes your facilitation training. Thank you for taking part and we wish you all the success for future meetings. If you would like to find out more about our other academic opportunities or have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the team on the contact details on the screen. Alternatively, feel free to check out our website at www.lincolnsu.com or pop into the Students' Union.